What if I told you a factory-built pickup truck once beat the Chevy Corvette in a drag race, legally exploiting a government loophole? Or that Dodge actually sold a convertible pickup truck, and it was such a disaster only 8 were built in its final year? Classic trucks aren't always what you think. Some were bold experiments, some were regulatory rebels, and some were flat-out insane. Here are 10 of the strangest classic trucks that were actually real. Number 10. The 1978 to 1979 Dodge Lil Red Express. Let's kick things off with a truck so wild that the United States government literally helped create it without even knowing. It's 1978. The muscle car era is dead. The oil embargo has crushed horsepower across the industry. Every automaker is busy strangling their engines with emissions equipment, catalytic converters, and low compression headaches. The golden age of raw American performance seems to be buried forever. And then Dodge did something absolutely incredible. Their performance engineers, led by Tom Hoover, the same man behind the legendary 426 Hemi, discovered a loophole buried deep inside the Clean Air Act of 1970. Trucks with a gross vehicle weight rating of 6,000 pounds or more were completely exempt from the catalytic converter regulations that were killing car performance. Not slightly exempt, completely exempt. So Dodge did what any self-respecting gearhead company would do. They built the most outrageous performance truck they possibly could. The result was the Dodge Lil Red Express, built on the humble D150 half-ton pickup with a 115-inch wheelbase. This truck packed the E58 Police Pursuit 360 cubic inch V8, borrowed directly from the cop car lineup. But it wasn't just any 360. Dodge added a camshaft from the 1968 340 V8, a massive 850 CFM thermoquad 4-barrel carburetor, dual snorkel cold air induction, red stripe performance valve springs, and heavy-duty internals. The engine breathed through twin chrome exhaust stacks that jutted dramatically up through the step plates behind the cab. Stacks so tall and beefy they looked like they belonged on a Kenworth 18-wheeler, not a half-ton pickup. The result, 225 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. In 1978, from a truck, when every other performance vehicle on the road was gasping for air. And here's the jaw-dropping part. In 1978 road tests, the Lil Red Express ran the quarter mile in approximately 15 seconds and hit 60 miles per hour in 6.7 seconds. That same year, the Chevrolet Corvette, the supposed king of American performance, needed 7.8 seconds to reach 60 and ran a 16.1 second quarter mile. A pickup truck was outrunning the Corvette. Off the showroom floor, Dodge dressed the truck to match its attitude. It came only in canyon red with gold decals reading Lil Red Express Truck on the doors. The bedsides and tailgate were lined with real oak wood planking with chrome-headed bolts. The cabin came with muscle car-style gauges, a tough steering wheel borrowed from the Dodge Challenger, and an optional 8-track stereo. Because the truck also had a GVWR of 6,050 pounds, it narrowly cleared that EPA threshold. And it was also not required to meet noise ordinance requirements in several states. In fact, the Lil Red Express was outright banned from sale in California, Maryland, Florida, Oregon, and Washington because it was too loud, even though it was emissions legal. Dodge initially capped production at 2,000 units, but demand exploded. They ended up producing 2,188 examples in 1978 and 5,118 in 1979. When the government finally closed the loophole and required catalytic converters on trucks, total production across both years was just 7,306 trucks. Today they are prized collector vehicles, and in good condition they sell for around $25,000. Genuinely surprising given how historically significant they are. The Lil Red Express wasn't just a weird truck. It was the grandfather of the entire factory performance truck genre. Before the GMC Syclone, before the Ford SVT Lightning, before the Ram TRX, there was this audacious, chrome-stacked Canyon Red Rebel from 1978. Number 9. The 1989 to 1991 Dodge Dakota Sport Convertible. Speaking of Dodge making strange decisions, let's talk about the time they decided that what the world really needed was a convertible pickup truck. The year is 1989. The Dodge Dakota had only been on sale for 2 years, and it was already a genuine success story. Introduced in 1987, the Dakota invented the mid-size truck segment. It was larger than compact trucks like the Ford Ranger, but smaller than full-size pickups. It could carry a full 4x8 sheet of plywood without dropping the tailgate, which no compact truck could claim. First-year sales of the Dakota were a remarkable 104,865 units. So Dodge decided to take this winning formula and put a convertible top on it. The idea reportedly came from Chrysler CFO Jerry York, who signed a contract in 1988 with ASC, the American Sunroof Company, to manufacture the convertible version. The design was relatively straightforward. A standard Dakota Sport with a simple manually operated vinyl convertible roof and a fixed padded roll bar behind the front seats. It came standard with the 3.9-liter V6 producing 125 horsepower, alloy wheels, air conditioning, fog lamps, power windows and locks, velour seats, and an AM/FM cassette stereo. Four-wheel drive was even optional. At launch, Dodge's own spokesperson admitted, "We have no idea what we're getting into with this one." As it turned out, they were getting into a disaster. In 1989, Dodge sold 2,842 Dakota convertibles, the low end of their expectations, but at least somewhat promising. For 1990, even with a lower price, added color options including blue, and the availability of a 4-cylinder version, sales cratered to just 909 units. The market had essentially spoken in the first year and then gone completely silent. And 1991? Eight Dakota convertibles were produced in 1991 to fulfill Dodge's contractual obligation to ASC. Just 8. That is extraordinarily rare. Rarer than most one-off concept cars. Why did it fail so completely? Analysts pointed to several problems. The manual top wasn't particularly good at keeping occupants dry. When the top was folded down, the pile of vinyl in the cargo bed looked awkward and took up usable space. And perhaps most damaging of all, the convertible Dakota had no rear seat, no price advantage, and sat in the same open-air, go-anywhere market space as the Jeep Wrangler, which had a loyal following and proven capability. Buyers who wanted open-air driving didn't need a truck bed. Buyers who needed a truck bed didn't want an open-air experience. The Dakota convertible was discontinued quietly and quickly, but those 3,759 survivors, give or take 8 final stragglers, remain among the most unusual American trucks ever offered for sale by a major manufacturer. Today they are genuine curiosities at car shows, living proof that not every bold idea deserves to become a production vehicle. Number 8. The 1991 GMC Syclone. The GMC Syclone may look like a standard early 90s compact pickup truck. It is absolutely not. In 1991, General Motors took their S15 compact truck platform and quietly built what was, at the time, one of the fastest production vehicles in the entire world. Not the fastest truck, one of the fastest vehicles, full stop. The Syclone was powered by a turbocharged 4.3-liter V6 engine producing 280 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. Numbers that sound modest by today's standards, but were nothing short of extraordinary for a small truck in 1991. More importantly, that power was fed through an all-wheel drive system with a sophisticated Borg-Warner transfer case and a specially tuned automatic transmission. The truck sat extremely low on its springs, fitted with ultra-wide tires, and wore a blacked-out body kit with subtle ground effects and unique badging. Road and Track famously tested a 1991 Syclone against a Ferrari 348 TS in a straight-line drag race. The Ferrari produced 300 horsepower and was a genuine supercar. The result, the GMC Syclone won. It ran 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds and completed the quarter mile in 13.4 seconds. The Ferrari was left behind, a compact pickup truck from General Motors, built for the 1991 model year at approximately $25,000, defeated one of Italy's finest sports cars. But here's the thing that made the Syclone truly strange. It was essentially useless as an actual truck. It was rated to tow only 2,000 pounds, far below what any normal compact truck of the era could manage. The cargo bed payload rating was a laughably low 500 pounds. General Motors had built a truck that could beat a Ferrari in a drag race but couldn't haul a full load of topsoil without potentially damaging itself. Production was limited to a single model year, 1991. Just 2,995 Syclones were produced. There was a companion vehicle, the GMC Typhoon SUV version, sold in 1992 and 1993. But the Syclone itself was a one-year wonder. Today, well-preserved examples regularly fetch $25,000 to $40,000 at auction, with low-mileage specimens going considerably higher. The Syclone was a factory-built absurdity that defied every expectation of what a pickup truck was supposed to be, and it was absolutely magnificent for it. Number 7. The 1959 Chevrolet El Camino. Let's step back a decade and talk about one of the most philosophically confused vehicles ever approved for production. In 1957, Ford introduced the Ranchero, a car-truck hybrid built on the full-size Ford passenger car platform. The idea was simple and genuinely clever. Use the styling, ride quality, and fuel efficiency of a car, while providing an open cargo bed for light hauling duties. Ford called the category the coupe utility, borrowing a concept that had already been popular in Australia for decades. Chevrolet watched the Ranchero succeed and decided to respond. Their answer was the El Camino, introduced for the 1959 model year. Built on the same full-size passenger car platform as the 1959 Chevrolet Biscayne, the El Camino shared its bodywork, interior, suspension, and powertrain with Chevy's car lineup, not its truck lineup. The result was something remarkable. It drove exactly like a Chevrolet passenger car, with a car's smooth ride and car-level interior comfort. Yet it had a functional cargo bed out back. The original 1959 El Camino is genuinely strange to look at. The 1959 Chevrolet body style was one of the most extravagant fin-era designs in American automotive history. Massive rear fins, a low-slung profile, and a dramatic fastback roofline. Dropping a cargo bed onto the back of this body created a vehicle that looks like it was designed by someone who couldn't agree on what they were building. Right up until the very last moment, it was available with a range of engines, from a modest 135 horsepower inline-six up to the optional 283 cubic inch V8. Chevy discontinued it after just 2 years for the 1960 model year due to disappointing sales, but the El Camino came back in 1964 on the Chevelle platform and remained in production all the way through 1987, making it one of the longest-running automotive experiments in GM history. The car truck was strange, polarizing, and persistent. Number 6. The Subaru Brat. This next entry wins the award for the strangest regulatory workaround in the history of the American automotive import business. In 1963, the United States imposed a 25% tariff on imported light trucks, a retaliatory measure against West Germany's tariff on American chicken exports. This became known as the chicken tax, and it dramatically increased the cost of importing foreign-made trucks into the United States. Japanese automakers who were rapidly gaining market share in America had to find ways to either manufacture trucks domestically or avoid the tariff entirely. Subaru engineers found a creative solution. Their Brat, which stood for Bi-Drive Recreational All-Terrain Transporter, first appeared for the 1978 model year. It was built on the Subaru Leone passenger car platform, featured all-wheel drive, a small 4-cylinder engine, and a cargo bed. But here is the critical detail. Subaru installed 2 rear-facing jump seats directly in the cargo bed, complete with seat belts. By adding those 2 seats in the bed, Subaru reclassified the Brat as a passenger vehicle rather than a light truck, and passenger vehicles were not subject to the 25% chicken tax. The Brat cleared U.S. customs as a car. Subaru literally bolted seats into a truck bed to trick the tax code, and it worked. The seats in the bed were notoriously uncomfortable and extremely exposed to the elements. They were rear-facing, meaning occupants sat backwards watching the road disappear behind them, buffeted by wind and noise. Nobody actually wanted to ride there, but their presence on the vehicle was legally essential. President Ronald Reagan reportedly owned a Brat at his Rancho del Cielo ranch in California and was genuinely fond of it, which helped give the vehicle a surprising level of publicity. The Brat remained in production in the United States through 1987, with approximately 120,000 units sold over its 9-year run. Today, surviving Brats in good condition are increasingly difficult to find and are sought after by collectors who appreciate their peculiar charm. They represent one of the most cleverly absurd solutions to a government regulation that the automotive world has ever seen. Number 5. The 1955 Chevrolet Cameo Carrier. For most of automotive history, pickup trucks were tools. They were built to haul things. They were not built to be pretty. Chevrolet decided to challenge that assumption in 1955 with the Cameo Carrier, and in doing so they created one of the strangest and most influential trucks of the post-war era. The standard 1955 Chevrolet Task Force pickup had fenders that protruded outward from the bed, a traditional design that was purely functional and completely utilitarian looking. The Cameo Carrier took the same basic truck and fitted it with wide, flush fiberglass rear fender panels that extended all the way from the cab to the tailgate, creating a smooth, unbroken car-like profile from front to rear. The tailgate was custom designed with a subtle taper and chrome accents. The interior was upgraded with two-tone upholstery and a level of finish that had never been seen in an American production pickup before. The result was a truck that looked like it had been styled by the same people who designed Chevrolet's car lineup, because it essentially had been. The Cameo was part of Chevrolet's effort to market trucks to a broader audience, including suburban buyers who wanted utility but didn't want a vehicle that screamed worksite. The problem with those beautiful flush fiberglass fenders? They were entirely cosmetic. The bed itself was still the standard narrow truck bed underneath, which meant the Cameo was actually less practical than a normal truck for actual hauling work. The beautiful fenders were purely for show. Buyers who loved the styling bought the Cameo. Buyers who needed a real work truck bought the standard model. Production ran from 1955 through 1958. Only about 5,000 total Cameo carriers were built across all 4 years. They were expensive, roughly $1,000 more than a comparable standard truck, and their limited bed functionality kept them from becoming mainstream sellers. But the Cameo established a concept that would eventually define the modern premium pickup truck. The idea that a truck could be beautiful, comfortable, and aspirational, not just functional. Number 4. The 1978 to 1984 Jeep Honcho. If you think modern limited edition trucks have wild branding partnerships, you have clearly never heard of the Jeep Honcho. Jeep offered the Honcho package on its J10 and J20 full-size pickup trucks from 1976 through the early 1980s. In its most memorable configuration, the 1978 Honcho offered something truly unprecedented in the truck world: a factory Levi's denim interior, not Levi's inspired, not denim patterned vinyl, actual Levi's denim fabric, with orange stitching, copper rivets, and a small Levi's jeans patch sewn into the upholstery, exactly like you would find on a pair of Levi's 501 jeans. The seats, door panels, and interior trim were all done in this distinctive denim material. It was a legitimate collaboration with Levi Strauss & Co., and it was as gloriously off its era as anything could possibly be. The Honcho also came with wide, flared fiberglass fender flares over the wheel arches, giving it an aggressive, ready-for-anything stance. Buyers could specify various off-road equipment packages, including a cow catcher front bumper, a roll bar, and a range of four-wheel drive hardware. Engines ranged from a 258 cubic inch inline-6 up to a 401 cubic inch V8. The Levi's interior wasn't actually unique to Jeep. AMC, which owned Jeep at the time, also offered a Levi's option on the CJ5 Jeep and on several AMC Gremlin and Hornet models during the same period. But the combination of the denim interior with the truck's flared fenders, chrome accents, and bold decal graphics made the Honcho one of the most unmistakably 1970s vehicles ever to roll off an assembly line. Today, surviving Honchos with intact Levi's interiors are genuine collector curiosities. Few have survived with the original denim upholstery in presentable condition, making original examples extremely rare. Number 3. The 1957 Dodge Sweptside. By 1957, the tailfin arms race between American automakers had reached extraordinary heights. Passenger cars were festooned with soaring chrome-tipped fins, inspired by military jet aircraft. The public loved them. Designers embraced them, dealers sold them, and one day, someone at Dodge looked at their perfectly ordinary D100 pickup truck and asked a simple question: what if we put tail fins on the truck? The answer was the 1957 Dodge Sweptside pickup. Dodge took the rear quarter panels from the 1957 Dodge Suburban station wagon, complete with those dramatic rising tail fins and the chrome trim from a passenger car, and grafted them directly onto the bed of a standard D100 pickup. The tailgate was restyled to match. The side character lines swept forward along the body in a fashionable curve, similar to the swept wing styling used across Dodge's car lineup that year. The result was genuinely startling. The front of the truck looked like a standard work vehicle. The back looked like a 1957 Dodge Coronet station wagon had been sliced in half and welded onto a pickup. The fender fins swept upward at the rear of the bed in the same dramatic fashion as the finest American passenger cars of the era. Under the hood, buyers could choose from a 204 horsepower, 259 cubic inch V8 or step up to the optional 245 horsepower, 315 cubic inch V8, genuinely respectable power for the period. But the Sweptside had the same fundamental problem as the Chevrolet Cameo carrier. Those beautiful car-inspired rear fenders reduced the bed's practical usable width, a truck that looked spectacular and worked somewhat less well than a plain truck. Production ran for just 3 years, 1957, 1958, and 1959, with only around 5,000 total trucks built across that entire span. They were outsold dramatically by conventional-looking competitors. Today, the Dodge Sweptside is regarded as one of the most distinctive and collectible trucks of the classic era. It represents a brief, beautiful, slightly impractical moment when American truck designers decided that a cargo hauler deserved to be as glamorous as a luxury car. Number 2. The 1982 to 1984 Mazda Rotary pickup. In the entire history of the pickup truck, only one production model was ever powered by a rotary engine. 1. The Mazda REPU rotary engine pickup was produced from 1974 through 1977 in its first generation. But Mazda also produced a rotary truck for the Japanese market under the Mazda Proceed nameplate in the early 1980s. For the purposes of this list, what matters is that Mazda built, sold, and delivered to actual paying customers a pickup truck that ran on a Wankel rotary engine, the same type of spinning triangle technology found in the legendary Mazda RX-7 sports car. The rotary engine is genuinely strange technology. Instead of pistons moving up and down in cylinders, a Wankel engine uses an eccentrically mounted triangular rotor spinning inside an oval-shaped housing. It produces power smoothly and continuously, revs to very high RPMs with little vibration, and is remarkably compact for its displacement rating. It is also, in the wrong hands, capable of drinking fuel at a dramatic rate and can be sensitive to maintenance. For the REPU sold in America from 1974 to 1977, Mazda fitted a 13B twin-rotor engine producing around 110 horsepower. Modest by any measure, but the engine's high revving character made the truck feel surprisingly spirited. The REPU was a compact truck aimed at buyers who wanted something lighter and more car-like than a full-size American hauler. The truck was marketed toward enthusiasts who appreciated the rotary engine's unique character. This kept mainstream sales relatively low. Combined with the Rotary's reputation for heavy fuel consumption during the energy crisis era, the REPU remained a niche product. Surviving examples in good condition are considered quite rare today, and they stand as the sole representatives of a technology that never found a second advocate in the pickup truck world. Number 1. The Lincoln Blackwood. We have arrived at number 1. And for sheer concept-defying strangeness from a mainstream American automaker, nothing in the history of the classic truck quite matches the Lincoln Blackwood. The Lincoln Blackwood was produced for a single model year, 2002. It was Ford's attempt to create what they imagined the ultimate luxury pickup truck would look like. A vehicle that combined the prestige and refinement of the Lincoln brand with the format of a full-size truck. The concept was not entirely unreasonable. Premium truck trim levels had been growing in popularity throughout the 1990s, and the idea of a truly luxurious hauler had genuine market logic behind it. But the execution was extraordinary in its contradictions. The Blackwood was based on the Ford F-150 Super Crew 4-door platform. Its exterior was painted exclusively in black, not as an option, but as the only available color. The grille, trim, and bodywork were executed in a tasteful, dark, understated style that was genuinely handsome. The interior was lined with premium materials, including genuine wood trim and Lincoln quality leather upholstery. And then there was the cargo bed. Rather than provide a conventional steel cargo bed, which in fairness would have been somewhat normal for a truck, Lincoln fitted the Blackwood with a stainless steel bed liner and then lined the entire cargo area with polished black carpeting. The bed also featured a motorized stainless steel tonneau cover that retracted electrically, sealing the carpeted cargo area like the trunk of a luxury sedan. There was no conventional bed access from the side. The only way to load items into the Blackwood's bed was through the power tonneau cover when it was opened. The combination of carpeting and a sealed tonneau effectively turned the truck's most fundamental feature, its cargo bed, into something that functioned more like an enclosed trunk than an open holder. You could not realistically use this truck to carry anything that might scratch, scuff, soil, or in any way interact with the carpeted interior in a truck-like manner. Lincoln also made a spectacular market research error. The Blackwood was rear-wheel drive only. The two largest truck markets in America at the time were buyers who needed four-wheel drive for off-road or winter use, and buyers in the Sunbelt states where full-size trucks sold in huge numbers. The Blackwood's rear-wheel drive limitations significantly hampered its appeal precisely where luxury truck buyers lived. The result was predictable. Ford had planned to sell around 18,000 Blackwoods annually. Actual production for the entire single model year was approximately 3,356 units. The vehicle was discontinued after 2002. It was not replaced. The Lincoln Blackwood cost approximately $52,000 when new, a significant premium over a standard F-150. For that money, buyers received a beautiful but deeply impractical vehicle with a carpeted bed they could not actually use for truck purposes, and no four-wheel drive option whatsoever. It was, by any objective measure, a spectacular commercial failure. But as an artifact of automotive ambition colliding spectacularly with market reality, the Lincoln Blackwood is absolutely one of the strangest production trucks ever approved, built, and delivered to actual customers in the history of the automobile. If you want to see more deep dives into automotive history, the obscure, the strange, and the genuinely great, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. And let us know in the comments, which of these trucks would you actually want to own? Drop your answer below. See you in the next one.